We've never had a president whine about it more. And be more willing to shred the Constitution to shut down the free speech that bothers him so much, that triggers him so much. And he does it knowing that even though he's basically bawling his heart out on social media, his fans, who profess to think of him as some sort of alpha silverback gorilla, they don't see it as the whiny baby boy spectacle that it is. They think it is tough to complain that Stephanie Ruhle was so mean to me. She said I was backed into a corner. She should be locked up for that. Maybe El Salvador. Tariffs are a touchy subject for Donald Trump. He can see the poll numbers. He can see the stock market. It's not going well. And MSNBC did a little segment where they criticized the chaos over these tariffs, and he was not at all happy about it. We'll give you his response, but first, here's what MSNBC said.
With Donald Trump, I still believe it's all showbiz. It's all symbolism. It's all getting to where he wants to get. I just don't think the details right now matter, especially if you look back 6 months from now. This is the start of a symbolic process.
145%, as we've discussed, is prohibitive. By the way, 80% is prohibitive ultimately. So all they're trying to do is create a thaw, if you will, in what these negotiations even look like.
There may be a soft landing here with tariffs, and I suspect it's because the alternative is so politically bad and economically bad. I suspect we will end up there.
Joe, I mostly agree with you. Donald Trump is backed into a corner. His grand plans of tariffs aren't working. And unless he turns this around, 3 weeks from now, you walk into a store and we're going to have a COVID-like supply chain crisis.
So that was a little panel that they put together, and they talked about their predictions of how this would go. And I don't think anything they said there sounded all that wild. I mean, a lot of people are very concerned about barren shelves and that sort of thing. But Donald Trump was obviously watching because he posted on True Social, bleeding this. MSNBC, the worst there is on television misrepresentation, is so far knowingly off in their statements about me and capital T tariffs that it should be considered a major campaign violation. Which campaign? I don't know. He's not running for anything, but everything is a campaign to him. They are nothing less than an arm of the Democrat National Committee, and their untruths are incredible. Real losers. Their ratings are down the tubes, but that pressure on them doesn't give them the right to lie and cheat. What are they cheating at? They're just talking. That's what a talk show is. I know that you watch them. That's where you got your cabinet from. But he goes on to say, I just watched an exhausted, highly neurotic Stephanie Ruhle spew lies about tariffs. She's exhausted and highly neurotic because she's a woman criticizing him. Let's just be very clear about that. And as do many others, in order not to give me the victory they all see coming. Few people know Stephanie Ruhle, but I do. And she doesn't have what it takes. No one, like these commentators, managers and agents are not as invested in their careers and what might come in the future than Donald Trump is, of every single one of them simultaneously. Anyway, blah, 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 our deal with the US was amazing for both countries. We literally don't even know what the deal is gonna be. So maybe it was, maybe not. We're gonna make a fortune with tariffs. Only smart people understand that. But no, I mean, like he won't admit who pays the tariffs. So no, I don't think that he's tapped into some sort of like genius exclusive band of data about tariffs. Blah, blah, blah. Stephanie was never known as a high IQ person. I know, women and people of color never can be. MSNBC has become the voice of the Democratic Party. They should be treated as a political advocate, which he capitalized. I don't know if that's a specific thing. With all of the taxes and penalties therefrom, did ChatGPT give you that or was it Grok? I don't know. He's a very weird little man. Here's the thing. It's not like they gave people specific advice on investments or something that he could be mad about. It's not like they lied about the details of a deal. They just said, it doesn't seem like this is going well for him. And he is, as always, implying that the network should be shut down or fined out of existence. Like that is his go-to now. When anyone criticizes him, the US government should crush you under its thumb.
Well, he has, sadly, the right constellation of people around him, Pam Bondi and Patel and others, to fire up any kind of investigation that he wants. So even, this would sort of be an empty kind of threat under any other presidency. But this time I kind of think to myself, well, he'll leverage the government and approvals of various things that these broadcast empires of Comcast and Paramount, et cetera, want, and Disney. And he can have a chilling effect on what they can say and what they will say. So, I mean, it seems like it's just the Mad King in the middle of the night flexing. But the reality is he does, you know, when he posts this stuff, he does have a sort of scary aspect to those things that he's demanding. So we look at it and go, what do you mean a campaign violation? That's absurd. The whole thing's just utterly absurd. But he's pursued these absurdities before in ways that have, you know, cost people jobs and have actually forced the settlement, for example, of the CBS case initially, or the ABC case is an even better example because they tapped out so quickly on that Stephanopoulos interview. So sometimes these absurdities come home to roost. It's scary.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk later about the calls for habeas corpus to be taken away. Like, they are taking drastic steps in a fascistic direction. I would be worried, at least a little bit, if I was MSNBC. And just to any like MAGA people who might be watching this, like we showed you the clip. They're criticizing him, okay? And I know you don't like that. No more than Donald Trump does like that. But like, you know that that's what the media does sometimes. Maybe you like Fox, or maybe not Fox. Maybe you like Newsmax or OAN or whatever. Like when Biden was president, did they ever tiptoe around criticizing him? And if they did, was that a major campaign violation? Should Biden have sued them out of existence? Or maybe we're just in wild new times and we're setting new precedents. In which case, if President AOC at some point were to do something and Fox were to criticize her, should Attorney General Jasmine Crockett sue them out of existence? Like, I want to know. This is not a rhetorical question. I don't ask those anymore. I really want to understand going forward, if you are in power, does the media not get to criticize you anymore? Or if they do you snatch their broadcast license? Do you imprison their anchors? This is a serious question because I know that you're cheering Trump doing that when MSNBC is the target. I just want to know how much I can advocate for when AOC finally takes office.
Every president has hated the press. Every president hates this adversarial relationship that they have with the press. Look at Obama. Obama, wildly popular, and still the lib press went after him, you know, on drone strikes, on any number of issues that affected the Obama administration. But you can go administration to administration. Biden was rotisseried by the press, not just the right-wing media, but also the left-wing media. And so I think this understanding that most presidents have that they're going to be taking on the press, in Trump's case, leads to a more dangerous kind of pushback because it does involve, you know, again, the call for investigations and for the legal system, which he has control of, to take hold.
Yeah, you're totally right. It's their job to critique and to criticize. What is different now is that we've never had a president whine about it more. And be more willing to shred the Constitution to shut down the free speech that bothers him so much, that triggers him so much. And he does it knowing that even though he's basically bawling his heart out on social media, his fans, who profess to think of him as some sort of alpha silverback gorilla, they don't see it as the whiny baby boy spectacle that it is. They think it is tough to complain that Stephanie Ruhle was so mean to me. She said I was backed into a corner. She should be locked up for that. Maybe El Salvador. Every true man can see that as blithering, whining, crying nonsense. But for some reason, MAGA isn't capable of it.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.